I think I'm going to share some stuff today that I normally don't, because that's the kind of mood I'm in. My name is Mr. 2020. You are listening to the Power of Imagination podcast. Let's dive in. When you feel that you can't make a decision, you dive into the world of drama. And when you feel that you can't make a decision, you're going to have all kind of rational reasons why you can't. Not enough information, not enough money, not enough. In other words, you're imagining that you're not enough. And you dive into drama. One of the ways people do that is they watch adventure movies. I love Jason Bourne. You know what he does? He makes decisions with very little data. He's on a mission. Maybe you've noticed I'm on a mission. I really hope you are too. Because if you're not on some kind of mission, and I'm not talking about save the whales or save the world, I'm talking about a mission that matters. In other words, you are how God has the adventure of a lifetime. You are God having the adventure of a lifetime. And you came here to sing a song, to dance a dance, to do something, to experience something. Could be as simple as having a yummy meal with someone that you love today. Could be sharing what totally transformed and saved your life. Could be snapping a photo and sharing it in a way that changes the lives of millions. I don't know. All I know is I'm walking into the pool yesterday, and I see my friend Jackie. She works there, I don't. In other words, Jackie's paid to be my friend, or at least be friendly. And I said, she yelled at me. She goes, "Yo, 20. I said, "Yo, Jackie." I said, "Can I ask you a question?" She goes, "What?" I said, "May I walk with you into the building?" Absolutely. I said, "All right, cool." So we're walking and we're talking, and I told her, I said, "Look, I want you guys to know, pass this on. I really appreciate you all, and I watch you. I watch how you give to people. And I appreciate that because it's like, so far, I've not seen in the gym anyone that just shows up for work. What I notice is they show up with a passion, with a mission. And they make some money, and they make a difference. I get that they feel fulfilled. And I interview these people. I talk to them. What can I learn from you? Sometimes I ask it, but I'm always scanning from that. Because learning is behavior change. And these are some cool people doing cool things. So I want to listen to them. But here's what I notice. People settle for other people making decisions. Like Jason Bourne. Or Donald Trump. Or Kamala Harris. So there were some decisions made about the food at the Olympics. God, this has gotten some interesting press. To save the planet, we're going to give these people what they don't want to eat. To save the planet, we're going to give these people what impedes and destroys performance. By the way, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the experts are saying that. Take that for whatever it's worth. And something funny's happened. Rebellion. In other words, some people decided not to settle for the drama if I have to eat shit that I don't like and I have to eat shit that impedes my performance. These people trained their lives to go to the Olympics, and they're told, hey, here's what you get to eat here because we're saving the planet. Radio. You get there decisive, and I got to tell you, I have not watched any of the Olympics. I'm too busy. And I'm not faulting you if you did. I'm just too busy. I got to be honest with you. There's also a reason why I'm not into the news. I am into Jason Bourne, I will admit it. But I got to tell you, actually deciding, making a decision, what are you going to accept as true? What are you going to accept that moves you? And so many people engage in endless defensive acts, where they've got to gather more data, where they've got to wait a little bit, where they have to evaluate. See, you all know my epiphany on Christmas Day. I realized I was remembering when I was an athlete. I was remembering when I loved my body. I was remembering when I enjoyed it tremendously. Doing shit that other people can't do. You got to remember, I started out, I was that teenage bedwetter who became a teenage black belt. I was told I'd be crippled in my 20s, scoliosis. Number one or number two professional in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He worked with all the sports teams. He said, "Look, this is you can do these exercises, you'll hold it off, but you're going to be crippled in your 20s." I don't know if he was trying to motivate me or not. I did the exercises for a little while, but I chose instead to become an award-winning black belt, nationally ranked. That was a lot of fun. I surrendered to a passion, to a beckoning. And I beckon you. I beckon you to surround yourself with people who are responding to beckonings. Pretty much every day I say joinremarkable.com. That's one word, joinremarkable.com. It's $100 a month. Join us. Some of y'all do, some of y'all don't. You see, only you know if you're leaning in today. Most people lean out. They do their best to survive the day, but they don't do their best to thrive. They do what they do to support the structure of their arguments, but they don't stretch their wings. There goes my duck. I hope you heard him. That's Buddy. We've had Buddy for, 12, 13, 14 years. Pretty much since I got here. Buddy showed up. He became a friend. Buddy doesn't come in the garden much anymore, but he always says hi. And when he does come in the garden, yeah, it's still Buddy. He's got some damage to his foot. Same duck all these years later. He comes in and he tells me stories, and I listen attentively. And I invite you to listen attentively to stories that enable you to decide. Now let's talk about decision just for one more second. Ready? Decision. Decide. Neville Goddard says you get to choose your state. If most people choose states full of excuses, that's fine. I invite you to choose states that enhance and invite you to explore excellence. And when my duck shows up, I listen to his joy. And I let that give to me, and I let it give to you. But we're talking about decisions and incisions and divisions. You notice these have a root, and they've got a root in... they seem painful, don't they? Last time I had an incision on my body, I was a teenager. And the doctor knocked me out. He cut a hole in my flesh, sawed off a bit of a bone. I had it tested to make sure it was no biggie. It was no biggie. And that was an incision. To cut. The nature of a decision is to cut away all other options. In other words, when we go out to eat, I get the meat platter. And I tell them, I don't want the chips, otherwise known as fries. I don't want the salad, otherwise known as vegetables. All I want is the flesh. Like the Olympic athlete, I decide. Like most of the people, most of the time, just watching, they may settle into watching the Olympics. They may kind of decide to. You got a choice today. You can live a life where you sort of bumble along and drift, or you can live a life where you decide. So if you got gold today, I've got 3 suggestions. Number 1, joinremarkable.com. You get $1,000 worth of goodies. We do ask for a 12-month commitment because I don't want tire kickers showing up. I want people to show up who are willing to put aside their bullshit. And I got to invite you to notice. The state you're in determines what you're getting from anything. And what we get to do is to get into states that give us everything. And finally, just for fun, NevilleGoddardStore.com. There's a lot of goodies there. Identity-based manifesting, one of my all-time favorites. Because your identity determines your decisions. You get that? My identity determined what I did with my morning. Talking to you. And it determines the quality of this as well. How'd I do? Let me know. And your identity determines excellence or excuses. We all got plenty of both can show up. Plenty of both do. Meanwhile, you get to make a decision. You get to carve away all other options. You get to remove what isn't needed. And you get to dive deeper and soar higher. Have a great day. My name is Mr. 2020. You have been listening to the Power of Imagination podcast. Make a decision as we go into the silence. I got to admit, I commend these Olympians. Because they let them know. I decided to come to the Olympics. I decided to compete. I decided to dedicate my life to this. I'm deciding not to settle for this food. It's at least what they call food. They decided something. And I'm not preaching against veganism or vegetarianism. I could give a shit. You eat what you're drawn to. Whatever it is, I'd suggest not letting it be an argument, but letting it be an exploration, a discovery, a dance. Have a great day. See ya.